Welcome back. As always, I'm Matt, and today I wanted to talk about the short I produced a couple of days ago about Robinhood and buying the X1 credit card company. First, it's a $95 million deal. It's supposed to go through at the end of quarter three. We'll see what happens there. It's all cash, and everyone from X1 is going to be joining Robinhood effectively as Robinhood's credit card division, which is great because their customer service team is amazing. Their product team, I think, has a lot of big ambition and has been constrained with their path to getting to where they want to go. So I think joining Robinhood, or really joining any bigger financial institution, was going to do them a lot of good. I say that because right now, redeeming your points on the X1 card is not great, to put it mildly. Your statement credits would only be valued at 0.7 cents per point. Buying stock would only be valued at 0.7 cents per point. You'd be redeeming at less than a cent per point for things like your Costco membership or your Amazon Prime membership. Redeeming purchases can be done at 1 cent per point at realtors like Amazon and Apple and any of their partners. So that's where you're going to get most of your value is redeeming through kind of clearing out old purchases, which is okay, but it leaves a lot on the table for you. Now, the X1 card produces those points by being a 2x everything card. They also have a boosts category. You can go in once a week and see what sort of boosts you can get on your spends. So sometimes there's a 5x gas category. There's a 3x dining or 3x delivery, like grocery delivery. Add 100 points to a 75 point purchase, or most often I see something like add 500 points to an addition to a $400+ purchase, effectively doubling your points based on the spend, or I'm sorry, adding another 500 points. So the ways to create points were great. Earlier this year, X1 changed how point earning can work. That point earning originally, when the card launched, was spend $15,000 in a year, and for the next year, your card will be a 3x catch-all card. And there was another way of, it would be like a 4x catch-all card if you invited friends to join the card, and you get 30 days of 4x. Invite enough friends and you can kind of create yourself an infinite point glitch where you'll have 4x points for a year, 2 years, 3 years. That was taken away pretty early. And then earlier this year, they changed the point creation by going from $15,000 a year for a year of 3x to monthly. The first $1,000 would be 2x. After $1,000, from $1,000 to $7,500, you'd be creating 3x points. And then past $7,500, you'd be going back to 1x, and that would reset every month. Don't know how that works out, but that's what they chose to do. Again, I think the product team had a lot of ambition that they couldn't meet, given being a credit card company is hard, especially when you're not a bank, and the credit card is sort of a loss leader to get people in the door to either your investing arm or a mortgage or auto loan or all the other things that the banks are able to kind of convince people to start doing with the bank as their credit card customers. So they were fighting an uphill battle. Now, with Robinhood coming in and purchasing the company outright, they now have resources to work with, and Robinhood now gets a whole other avenue of revenue in the form of interchange fees. So for Robinhood, it makes a lot of sense. They've also wanted to, start giving customers more financial tools, so they say. But really, the interchange fees are a great way for them to keep building what they're building. Now, they have things like Robinhood Gold memberships. They have a number of other avenues that they have for keeping Robinhood funded. But these interchange fees now will open up a whole other level of possibility. So I think for both companies, it's going to be a win. Now, why I think it will actually be a bigger win for Robinhood customers is Robinhood can come in and change the redemptions and make the redemptions something very interesting, especially for those who are interested in investing, are interested in team cashback, or interested in using credit cards for things other than travel and, getting another means of point redemptions that can help them not necessarily today, but grow going forward. So by that I mean Robinhood can come in and get rid of most of the redemption system for X1. Change the value of your point redemption for cash back in terms of actually making it cash back, or being able to put it into Robinhood's IRA, or a Robinhood specific ETF, or a Robinhood specific mutual fund, or a Roth IRA, where the points are now worth 1 cent per point. So 10,000 points would be $100. So I think they'll keep some of the interesting ways of boosting your points, but I also can see them kind of simplifying the redemption so that you invest right into any sort of investment vehicle that you as the customer choose to be right for you. They can do fractional shares of individual stocks. They could do fractional shares of ETFs, fractional shares of REITs, fractional shares of mutual funds, or whatever's on the Robinhood marketplace, or their Robinhood IRA, or the Robinhood Roth IRA, the Robinhood, I believe they also do a 401k, but let you invest into that individually with your cash back consistently, or even automatically, given the way that your points are available to you immediately in the X1 card on the X1 app. The other thing I think they might look into, X1 has a way of redeeming even more points through the X1 shop, where if you buy things through the X1 shop at Apple, you get 5x X1 points, right? Now, instead of just generating these 5x points, what if they could produce cash back in the form of a fractional share in the company? So you spend $1,000 on a base level MacBook Air, the 13-inch M1 currently, but spend $1,000 on a computer, put $10 into a fractional share of Apple. And, the more you spend at Apple, the more money you're investing into Apple at the same time. And as Apple shares grow, your money will grow over time. Now, it's very, very small, but with finance, small things consistently can become big snowballs. So I think that's another thing they could look at in terms of creating points and instantly redeeming points. But I think you're going to see a new vehicle of investment through your credit card spend that is going to be instant, that is going to be able for you to, immediately dictate, hey, this is going to go into my IRA, and I'm going to start buying shares in whatever you want to buy your shares in for how you want to set up your retirement. And the more you spend on your credit card, the more you're putting away those fractional shares, which with compounding dividends, these things growing over time, your spend today could help finance your retirement tomorrow, is sort of the general idea. Now, do I think this is immediately likely? No. I think they're going to leave the company be for now and start giving them more resources. I would like to see the redemption simplified. I would like to see the cent per point simplified as well, or raised from 0.7 up to 1. Be even better if you just did a flat, I don't want to say 1.5%, but raise it to a flat 2% card. Now, you have a simplified earning, where all your money is going to go. You can put it right into a Robinhood account and start buying fractional shares on your own, or right into a Robinhood retirement account and start building up that account and buying fractional shares and creating things over time. I think this could create a ripple effect and sort of change the way that some of the other cards look at how they operate. Because right now the Fidelity card is probably the strongest at 2%. The Charles Schwab Amex Platinum, when you pair it with other Amexes with your membership rewards, instead of transferring out for travel, you could turn that into an overpowered stock vehicle. But again, you're redeeming at 1.1 cent per point, whereas the big thing with membership rewards points is transferring them out to transfer partners for that 2%, that 2 cent per point redemption. So, if you have the Amex with Charles Schwab, yes, you have a huge cashback card, but it's being willing to use your membership rewards points in that way. Some people are, a lot of people aren't. So that's why that card isn't as mainstream as, you'd think about it. If I was going to get a platinum card, I would probably get the Charles Schwab one just because I want the ability to cash out for a lot of cash back if I'm not traveling and not looking to redeem for travel. That's just me. Everybody's different. Charles Schwab also has an Amex card that is 1.5% cash back into your Charles Schwab account. The other Morgan Stanley Amex card that they have is a Morgan Stanley Blue Cash Preferred, which does come with a $100 a year statement credit that can be used toward that annual fee. They do something called like member dollars to help build your cashback statement credits, but those can only be used on the card. So the money that you're not spending toward the card's annual fee, you can then invest. Other cards, I said, like most banks will have an investing arm. Your ultimate rewards points can go into your Chase investment portfolio. Think that given what X1 was trying to do, and given who Robinhood is, this could become a really interesting merger, especially once it closes and once we get a better idea of where they can see their product going. Now, where I don't want things to go is X1 was about to release the X1 Plus travel credit card with a $75 annual fee and like this weird lounge system where like once your flight was going to be delayed by at least 2 hours, you'd get this temporary lounge pass. It just didn't sound worth it at all. And given all the other problems with X1, it just didn't seem like it was going to be a very good travel card or a worthwhile travel card, especially since these cards have no sign-up bonuses. These cards don't allow balance transfers if that's the thing you need. These cards have great opening credit lines, but if you need to add to your credit line, increasing your credit line hasn't been particularly easy on the X1 card as it's after its launch last year. So there are some basics that X1 can either really focus on now after this merger is complete, or there are cleaner ways to do your redemptions for cashback and let everything else kind of fall by the wayside because they have awesome customer service. I think simplifying that redemption will go a long way. And, being able to build up an IRA with your credit card spend, in addition to what you put away for an IRA, build up a stock portfolio with your credit card spend as someone who'd never done cashback or anything like that, or was brand new to credit, would be a way to do that. I think it's going to create another avenue for people to think about credit card redemptions. If they do it wrong, and everybody laughs at Robinhood again. But I don't think that will be the case. I think this will be a pretty significant acquisition in time. Not this year, not next year, but I think once they get everything ironed out, you're going to have Team Cashback, Team Travel, and a new burgeoning team build your portfolio. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on it. Let me know in the comments how wrong you think I am, or if you think I'm right. If you like it, share, subscribe, and I will see you again soon.